Hi, my name's Dee and welcome to Sunchild Tarot. Now, this is a general Gods at Play reading for the full moon. I've already done oracle card readings for each individual sign. Link down below to the playlist, obviously. I'm going to say link down below a few times here. So, what's your sun, your moon, your rising? Now, these Gods at Play readings, if you've seen them before, by their very, very nature, they are dramatic. They are looking at the masks that the archons are wearing to keep you separate from your divine purpose, and the gods that are working with you and that are on your side, trying to lift you up and reconnect you with your higher self, God, the divine, however you want to look at it. And because of the cards that I use, a selection of oracle decks, they are by their very nature dramatic, which makes them so much fun. But it is a general reading. So, and it's not even necessarily a reading where it's describing what's going on for you right now. It is a look at energies that can be around you, and it's something to file away and enjoy. And you may see situations that you're going through already in the reading, or you may not. And if you don't, go and watch your moon, go and watch your rising. In fact, always watch your rising. If you've got a choice, watch your rising. Now, it is an eclipse, so I suppose your sun and your moon are quite important on this one as well. But don't give away your power. Don't depend on what any YouTube tarot reader says. These readings are officially for entertainment purposes only. But more to the point, it is a form of entertainment because it's there for confirmation. You should be able to hear things that activate your confirmation bias, or basically just go, yeah, I know what that's on about. Now, also down there is a link to the show that I did with astrologer David Fisher, looking at the astrology of the full moon, super moon, blood moon, flower moon. Yes, power moon. No, flower moon. Total lunar eclipse. So as you can imagine, it's a bit of an event. We're in eclipse season now. These next 2 weeks between the lunar and the solar eclipses are considered to be a portal in and of themselves. I know this lunar eclipse is considered to be really good for opening portals for other realms. I will say, yes, now I wrote this down somewhere. If you have any Virgo in your chart, watch the Virgo reading, which is the second half. Timestamp down below as ever, because I'm going to waffle about the moon a little bit first and then get to the reading by jumping ahead to the timestamp. But please listen to my waffle at least once, because I think you might find something of value, hopefully. But if you have any Virgo in your chart, go and watch the Virgo reading. And if you are a Pisces sun, go and watch the Virgo reading. Because if you think about it, Pisces sun means Earth in Virgo. And it's a doozy, but that Pisces Virgo axis, because I've just literally done the Pisces reading, and to be quite honest, that was a doozy as well. So if you've got anything on that Pisces Virgo axis, go and watch both of them, to be quite honest. Right, so with this reading, you can ask a question beforehand. It's not one where I guarantee that you'll be able to tell if there's an answer or not. It's not like the monthlies or my sun with moon rising combination readings, where you can either tell, yeah, this is for me, this isn't for me. So it's I don't like saying take what resonates, because it just sounds so formulaic. But if the whole thing resonates, take it. And if the whole thing doesn't resonate, don't take it. I'm much more a fan of having the whole reading or not little bits. Now, obviously, I'm a YouTube channel. I'm personally a YouTube channel. I'm trying to grow the channel, so I will be very grateful if you would like the video once you've had your reading, give me a good judgment that way. But don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed already, please do, because it really will help me grow the channel, because I leave my subscriber number public while it's so absolutely and utterly pathetic. So I'm still looking for that magic 1,000. So all helped, gratefully appreciated, and thank you so much to everyone who has. Now there's also a link down there for the Facebook page for this channel, because I don't trust YouTube notifications, but more importantly, I also post on there a lot of the astrology weather report videos that I collect from YouTube. So I try to make it a bit of a one-stop shop. And also it's got its own inbox. So if you want to contact me for a personal reading, that Facebook page is the best way to do it. There is a link tree down there that'll take you to my Twitter and to my email and what have you. But trust me, Facebook's the best way to, as probably awful that is to say. Right, that was 5 minutes waffle already, and I haven't even got into the moon. So, in the Oracle card readings, I focused on the South Node. Now, what I want to focus on here is not even so much the lunar eclipse and the symbols of the lunar eclipse itself, apart from the inside degree or Chandra symbol for the 5-degree Sagittarius, where the eclipse is. I love this image. Also, being a Wonder Woman fan helps. A pair of shoes with wings on them. So basically, there's a blessing of Hermes. There is Hermes sandals. But what I want to focus on is Jupiter, because Jupiter is square to this eclipse and ruling this eclipse. Jupiter is at home in Pisces, obviously. It is dignified in Pisces, if you want to say it that way. It is also at home in Sagittarius. Now, I think that there's an extra whammy going on with Pisces. I've spoke about Neptune conjunct Pallas conjunct Orpheus in the Oracle card videos, playlist down below. But Neptune is, if you look at Neptune as the modern ruler, that's energizing Pisces and anything that's in it. You look at Jupiter as the traditional ruler, which I prefer traditional rulerships, it's energizing everything else in Pisces. The two rulers together cannot be a bad thing. Speaking as a Pisces, yes, things will get misty, and yes, things will get cosmic, and yes, things will get really, and this is quite a statement probably for all of Jupiter in Pisces this year and next year. But don't forget, we're going to get reined in by Saturn in a month or so's time as Jupiter goes retrograde. But moving on, the angel ruling Jupiter is Yelahia at 1 degree Pisces. It's actually 1 degree 11 minutes. So I looked up the angel number for that, which says very much it's about manifestation, prosperity, awareness, uniqueness, motivation, and independence. But basically, monitor your thoughts and stay focused. And that focus is a really, really important point. In the Pisces reading that I just finished, it's like your focus needs to be zeroing in and zeroing in and zeroing in. And I wish I'd thought of that image when I was doing the reading, because that's exactly what I was trying to say. But Yelahia, sorry, the angel number 111 is all about monitor your thoughts because you're going to manifest. Jupiter brings abundance. Now, Yelahia is all about sweetening judgment and is a karmic warrior, whatever that happens to mean. And I'm not even going to touch that phrase with the barge pole, because I think I know, but I think the understanding of that term is different for every single person. Because karma is different for every single person. But I like that sweetening judgment aspect. However, it's an eclipse, and as David pointed out to me, certainly in terms of, I think he was looking at the Indian astrology in the terms of the dragon Rahu and Ketu, or parts of the dragon Rahu and Ketu. He was saying that the eclipse is where the light is removed and so the demonic influence comes in. Now, the demonic influence, this decan is ruled by day by Furfa, Goetic spirit Furfa, or Furta, and by night, Seer. Now, Seer, or Seer, is his natural planet is Jupiter. So the fact that Jupiter in Pisces, in Seer's decan, gives that Jupiter expansiveness extra whammy for me. But it's given extra whammy to that Pisces energy. But let's have a look what Seer is about. Now, I would imagine around the eclipse is a great time, if you're into Goetic evocation, to evoke Seer. But I would cast some divination first, and I'm still apprehensive about doing any hocus pocus during the 14 minutes of the total eclipse. Wait till the sunlight has returned to the moon. And if you're wanting to contact Seer, I would imagine in that 14 minutes, although he is a timeless entity and lives in a realm beyond time, but you know, this time here, so he's going to likely be busy being during those 14 minutes, and therefore after the 14 minutes been in a really good mood. So Seer is actually quite a benevolent entity. Seer is known to increase the longevity of the witch, so that's really quite useful. Certainly when your days are getting on a bit. And he is apt for chakra work, specifically the second chakra, the soul star and the earth star chakra. So literally that he is an embodiment of working with the as above so below, and or the grounding yourself and bringing down white light, if you know the technique from that name. But most traditions have a version of linking yourself to Gaia and then bringing the energy down from the cosmos. Seer engenders the quick occurrence of things and catalyzes stagnated affairs with movement. He enacts the revelation of whatever persons in your life essay to keep you unaware of. So he reveals secrets. He presides over sorcery and brings about the fulfillment and gnosis of the will. So there's an understanding of self there, and there's an understanding of divine self there, or of just the divine. But the next bit is what I've highlighted. The traditional delineation of Seer is as follows, and I love this. His office is to go and come, and to bring abundance of things to pass all of a sudden, and to carry or recarry anything wherever you would have it go or where you would have it from. He can pass over the entire earth in the twinkling of a single eye. He gives a true relation of all sorts of theft and of hidden treasure and of other things. He is of an indifferent good nature and willing to do anything that the summoner requires. And then it talks about how he will help the witch contact higher spheres of light, and you've got to remember that a lot of these Goetic spirits that Solomon worked with have angelic origins. So, you know, they know what they're on about. Now, the actual degree, angel of the eclipse degree, is about building bridges, fertility, multiplicity, defeats, this Amael, defeats frustration, despair and depression, but obviously not in that 14 minutes. That's where I would imagine they could rear their head. And then it's up to you to defeat frustration, despair and depression for those 14 minutes. But the minute that light returns, Amael will be there assisting you with that. And there's a huge amount of self-determination I'm seeing about this lunar eclipse. I am actually really, really excited for this lunar eclipse. When I was starting the astrology, I was a bit like, oh God, eclipses, they're all going to be scary. You know, they're as scary as comets. But there's so much that can be drawn, I think, from this eclipse, or that can be opened. There is a wonderful sense of potential. And if this is the start of this 2-week portal, it is something to be celebrated, it is something to be experienced, and it is something to spiritually grab with both hands, in whatever way, shape, or form that may mean, because grabbing may be the wrong term. Because the other thing about this 1 degrees Pisces, there was a writer called Franz Baden who did evocations of what he called the degree heads of every degree of the zodiac. Now, 1 degree Pisces is ruled by Shad, who, among other things, inspires technical inventions. So there's this huge problem solving. He will, if you've got a little bit of genius in you, Shad will go, see that genius you've got there? Here, have that, see how you get on with it. Giving that inspiration. And there's power here, the Omega symbol. And if anybody knows where the Omega symbols are from, please do tell me. I've got this list of Omega symbols and I've no idea where they've come from. But this I really like. The Omega symbol for 1 degree Pisces. Remember, this is Jupiter ruling the eclipse, not the eclipse. From deep in the earth, the sound of a waterfall. Now, within that, we've got that sense of building of power, building of potentiality. We've got the idea of the underground stream, that magical current that runs through the earth that magicians and energy workers can tap into, the dragon lines, the ley lines, however you want to say it, with that cleansing sense of water, the waterfall. There's not much more for me. I mean, I've got loads of notes here, but they're all pretty much saying the same thing. This lunar eclipse is a doozy. Take advantage, take precautions. You know, don't do your hocus pocus during the 14 minutes of total blackout, but take advantage, meditate, sing, dance, do whatever feels right for you that gets your energies tingling, not just your fingers, but the air around your fingers, not just your spine, but the whole air around you. When the air that is around you is part of your sensory input, then yeah, you're well on the way. And with that, let me bring up the cards. Okay, Capricorn, as you may be aware that this lunar eclipse is occurring in your 12th house. That's that area of your life that is overwhelming, where you're yielding to a greater cause or a greater power, diving into the depths. I would also like to think there's an element of completion going on there. Now, as you're aware, the top row represents the masks the archons are wearing as they are trying to distract you away from your own higher self, divinity, God, however you want to look at it. And the bottom row are the gods who are lifting you up. So arrayed against you, we have the archons wearing the masks of Nuada with perfection, Atlas with responsibility, Sirens with temptation. That's going to be an interesting discussion when I get to it. Icarus with inexperience, and Hell with concealment. And the gods on your side, we have Ganesha with obstacles, Eros with desire, and Pan with nature, Jeanne d'Arc or Joan of Arc with faith, Epimetheus here with carelessness, and Kali with destruction. Now, this is a curious, this is definitely a curious set of gods to be working with. The first thing that struck me, because remember, whatever happens, this top row, it's a trap. It's full on Admiral Akbar. It is the archons trying to keep you trapped. So, one, don't let what's the phrase? Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. because it's almost like there is an urge to take something on board with this idealized goal that this must be perfect, this must be whatever, and it's a responsibility that is being offered to you to take on board, and it is tempting. The accolades, the the prestige, the new responsibility, new position, theoretically, maybe a new paycheck amongst that. Bear in mind that this can manifest just through ordinary people around you. It's not that whoever is doing it is an agent of the archons or anything like that. And bear in mind that these readings are always quite dramatic anyway. It is more a case of these energies finding a way to express themselves. Whereas it's almost as if I'm feeling that now is not the time to take on additional responsibilities, because there are things going on that are being kept from you. Maybe say if this is in a work role, you are being asked to adopt a specific work role because your department is actually getting phased out, for example. That's what that hell card there could mean. But it's also putting you into a level of into trying to achieve something where you haven't necessarily got the skills to achieve it. And a reasonable person would say, hang on a minute, what you're doing, you're expecting me to paint the Forth Bridge in 2 days. It takes 4 years. There's and that's assuming I wasn't just working on my own. So it's almost like a goal is set for you where you are being set up for failure. However, there are blockages to this goal. I mean, this announcement may be in reaction to some of these obstacles. Why don't we do this then? Yeah, it's pie in the sky. But there seems to be blockages for your day-to-day life, but these are good blockages. These are obstacles that are just being meant to slow you down, because with Eros, Pan, and Epimetheus here, it's almost like you're being told, relax and have some fun. Work out what you desire, work out what is within your own nature, and go for it. And if you end up destroying something within your life in the efforts of doing that, that's okay, because you are getting in touch with your truer nature. Have faith. Joan of Arc, Jeanne d'Arc here. With the Epimetheus, I'm not so much seeing him as the carelessness that he's representing on this deck here. More for the sake that he represents afterthought as much as Prometheus represents forethought. So it's looking back at something and seeing what the good is from some past event. And that past event is something that has helped point out to you, ooh, I like that. I want to do more of it. Whatever it is. Hopefully not just drugs and alcohol, but, whether it's abseiling down the side of a building or reading more about potted plants in the home. There's quite a wide range there to be working from. But you are being asked to, I don't want to say listen to your physical desires, although that's a manifestation of it, but that's not the be all and end all of it. It's listen to those urges that have been around for a while, but strike a chord with you, that say, this is who I am. Or, how someone finds a new thing to do, and with that new thing to do, they have the realization, this is who I am. Well, Epimetheus here strikes me that you may have had that realization, but then not gone ahead and been that person. And now is the time to go for it. So, yes, listen to your desires. Some of them with physical is one way to look at it, especially with Pan and for Eros for that matter. But it's less physical as it is, what's the word I'm looking for? Fundamental. Fundamental is the word that I'm looking for. This, rather than trying to stretch yourself and take on responsibility for something that you can't necessarily achieve, there's that urge of you can have a promotion at work, or you can go open a store at the seaside selling keychains. And maybe you've always just wanted to open a store at the seaside selling keychains. Well, okay, admittedly, probably not the best analogy in current climate because tourism's not doing great. But if you want to go and open a shop selling keychains on the coast, do it. Now's the time. Yes, things will get destroyed, but also there's quite a lot of baggage and well, to be honest, crap, that will be destroyed in this process. Well, I got 3 cards from the Oracle of Heaven and Hell, and this Mahasya, the rectification. Again, rectification, putting something right from the past. With Epimetheus is saying that there's a desire that you have not followed in the past, that now, because of the obstacles that you're facing, you now have the opportunity to look at this old desire and go, what if I did? In fact, let's try it. Let's see what happens. Because we've got the angel of power, the power of divine love, protects and enfolds me. The angel of harmony, I live in harmony when I am at one with the source. And the guardian angel of young love, I accept love with gratitude. I am opened and made whole by its beauty. But that young love makes me think of teenage passions. It makes me think of I love this. I want to do more of it. With the angel of harmony, you are being in tune with that desire of I love this. I want to do more of it. And with the angel of power, it's telling me that this will be supported. And the nonsense moved out of the way with Kali here. So let's see what this final card is, because I haven't looked yet. So we have Daniel again with eloquence. Now, Daniel seems to be, he's not in the chart that I remember for the eclipse, but Daniel's coming out a lot during these readings and with the oracle card readings. There's a lot to be said. Well, of course, there's a lot to be said. He's representing eloquence, but he obviously has a lot to say about the events in this eclipse. So I would also say listen to those messages that are around you that help ping and reawaken those old desires. Right, let's have a look at what the tarot have got to add to this. Okay, we have plenty of tarot, so let's put them down. Let's see what we've got. So, with Nuado, we have the Queen of Cups, and then immediately the King of Cups. Well, actually, I'll turn them upside down. 8 of Wands, the Moon, 6 of Wands, 7 of Cups. Right. So, King of Swords, Ace of Swords, 4 of Wands. You have to make a commitment to yourself to look at this afterthought, look at this thing that happened, or this thing that you didn't do, again with that rectification. 8 of Swords, do not be nervous about the destruction that following this old desire, this old urge that never got fully realized. Do not worry about the destruction that will create. Yes, it will be a challenge, but you'll be getting down to the bottom of why that desire was there, which I think with the King of Swords there will be almost brings a realization of, why wasn't I doing this before? Why didn't I start doing this 20 years ago when I first realized I wanted to do it? Because there's plenty of options of getting around your obstacles and moving on to this path. But this King and Queen of Cups here with the Archons of Nuada and Atlas, I don't like the way they both look like they're sat plotting. It's like they're mages looking into their cauldrons to see what all the people around them are doing. Especially that King of Cups with Atlas and responsibility. It's putting things on your shoulders that you do not need to have on your shoulders at the moment. There's nothing else that I can see here. So it is pretty much a chill out, relax, follow your passions to an extent, you know, keeping the highest aim in mind and all that. Follow your passions, release your passions, let them drag you along. Okay, if that means anything to you, Capricorn, then comment down below, because it's always good to know that these readings have hit the ears of the person that they're meant for. Smash that like button because it really helps the video, and feel free while you're passing to subscribe to the channel. And you can see more of these. I do these full moons gods of play readings every full moon because they're just so much fun. As I say, with the gods, they're so much more dramatic. They're a lot of fun to do these readings. But yeah, for once, Capricorn, give in to your passions. All right, cheers.